लेकिन उसको जो है समर्थन करने में जो ग्रैंड ओल्ड पार्टी है वो अपनी भूमिका निभा रही है। तो कांग्रेस का जो कुनबा है वो कॉमेडियन का एजेंडा बनता जा रहा है। अब जिस पार्टी का कॉमेडियन एजेंडा हो, जिस कुनबे का कॉमेडियन एजेंडा हो, तो उस पार्टी की हाशिर क्या हो सकता है। लेकिन वो बेवकूफ़ लोग हैं, इस तरह के जो मस्खरे लोग हैं, इस तरह के जो मनोरंजन मानुष हैं, उन मनोरंजन मानुषों को गंभीरता के साथ अगर कोई पार्टी ले रही है तो इसका मतलब आप समझ सकते हैं उस पार्टी का क्या हाल है। वो भी मनोरंजन का जो है और मजाक का पात्र बन रही है। उसने जो बोला वो तो गलत है ही, लेकिन उसको जो है समर्थन करने में जो ग्रैंड ओल्ड पार्टी है वो अपनी भूमिका निभा रही है। तो कांग्रेस का जो कुनबा है वो कॉमेडियन का एजेंडा बनता जा रहा है। अब जिस पार्टी का कॉमेडियन एजेंडा हो,
Well, Mr. Amit Malviya now joining us on the phone line. Mr. Malviya, Mukhtar Naqvi over there, of course, slamming Veer Das. Now, there have been comments about Veer Das saying that action should be taken against him. What's your view? Mr. Amit Malviya, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Well, I have nothing much to say about calls for action on Veer Das. The law will take its own course. But I'm quite amused at the kind of support that he's garnering from the Congress leaders. I want to ask the Congress leaders, had they outsourced the job of standing up to stand-up comedians? And does that reflect their poor confidence in Rahul Gandhi's leadership? The truth is that this is nothing but sheer vilification of India. And the Congress party is in support of it. What does it say about their politics? What does it say about the fact that they would lean on someone who's making trivial comments out of generalizations and running down everybody from people who believe in this culture, in this country, its ethos, everything? What has the Congress party reduced itself to?
Right. Now, Mr. Malviya, we are, of course, waiting for a comment to come from the Congress as well. But Veer Das, of course, has come out with a statement saying that he believes in two Indias. And he's also gone on to say that there was a standing ovation at the end of his commentary in the United States, and thereby going on to then say that, you know, I'm just putting forward my point of view.
Look, like I said earlier, I don't have any comment to offer on Veer Das. He is not important in the scheme of things. He said what he said. It is utter trash. It is generalization. It is running down an entire country on foreign soil. But having said that, my concern remains the Congress party. That what have they reduced themselves to? Is this the level of politics? And would they lean on to anybody who professes to stand up against India and support them?
Right, Mr. Malviya, thank you very much for speaking to us on Republic. So Amit Malviya over there taking on the Congress party in their support for Veer Das. I think we've also got Madhurima joining us live from New Delhi. Madhurima, good morning. Madhurima, give us a sense of, you know, the outrage that this video has essentially drawn. We're also told that there are two police complaints that have been registered in Tilak Nagar itself against Veer Das. Tell us more.
Well, Nupur, like Mr. Malviya was highlighting that this particular event which took place at the Kennedy Center in the United States of America, where Veer Das starts up with saying that it's a full house, and I would like to explain about India, that I come from two Indias, and where he goes on and makes some statement which puts allegedly our country into a not very good space and not very good light, following which we saw that multiple reactions have come up from all quarters. The politicians also jumping in the opportunity, like Mr. Malviya said, that the Congress party hailing the kind of act that Mr. Veer Das had put out. But this has also riled up the sentiments of many Indians, and the reaction of which we saw in the national capital as to a complaint has been filed against Veer Das at the Tilak Nagar police station here in the national capital. where the complainant has alleged that and accused Mr. Das of hurting national sentiments, his national sentiments, and said that this should be taken cognizance of. We've seen how Kangana Ranaut, the Bollywood actress, has also come forward and said that the statements that Mr. Das has made in the 6-minute act of his where he has generalized Indian men, Indian situation, and she highlights how that every country across the planet has good and bad, but to generalize something is not very correct. This is also enthralling a lot of traction from the current dispensation as well, which is chiding Veer Das for making such a statement, that too on a global platform in front of the world to see, without realizing the kind of effect it could have on the image of one country. So all in all, Nupur, this particular Mr. Das has come forward and issued a clarification as well, Nupur, where he goes on to say that people should not really look into the snippet, should watch the entire act, and it's like every country has good and bad, every person has dark and good and evil. So in the similar fashion, his entire act that he performed in the United States of America did not mean to target the country, but all in all, the point is that this particular entire stand-up act that was given by Mr. Das has now receiving mixed reaction, with major section of our country pretty riled up with the kind of performance Mr. Das did in the United States of America. Nupur.
All right. As Madhurima is pointing out, Veer Das, of course, was performing at the Kennedy Center in the United States of America. Thank you very much for joining us, Madhurima.